just the day 2 of the season, and a lot of things are happening in Big Brother's house. Guys, things are happening. A lot of things are happening. And I'm going to have to make another video to share the details of those things that are happening, all right? Now, I'm going to give you a hint. There is the birth of a new ship, all right? But it's kind of dicey because there just might be other indices attached to that ship. Yeah, it's probably going to get chaotic on the long run, all right? So that's just a hint for you. So watch out, stay tuned. I'm going to make another video to give you the details of that. Now, aside that, the moment we had all been waiting for since Sunday finally happened today. Yeah, I'm referring to the first diary session of the season. Some of the housemates had their session today. And ladies and gentlemen, Aibo, it was quite revealing. It was really revealing. For those of you that are lovers of the Big Brother show, you already know by now that the first diary session of the season is always very significant, because that is when we get to learn about the housemates' first impression of their fellow housemates, who are not just their fellow housemates, but also their fellow competitors in the game. And so a lot was said today. A time was had. A time was had, especially with certain housemates session. Yes, there was the likes of Neo, there was the likes of Mac Jr., there was also the likes of what's her name now, Palesa or Pali. Yeah, these people, oh my god, their session was wild. It was wild. There and then I saw true actual gamers that I had been hoping to see this season. And maybe we'll see more when the second batch of housemates have their session tomorrow, but a lot was said, and so I'm going to share with you all the details. All right, I'm going to share with you all the details. So please make sure you watch the end of this video. Do not skip out on any part so that you do not miss out, all right? And you're all especially welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the T. For those of you that are new here, thank you so much for subscribing. If you are yet to become a part of this community, please just do exactly what you see on your screen. All right, now quickly, let's get into the business of this video. Sammy M was the first housemate to have her session, and she was quite bubbly, quite excited, but didn't really have a lot to complain about because, guys, remember, she's immune from eviction this week by virtue of her being the winner of the Eye of Immunity card challenges. She had found the card, thereby earning herself immunity. Yes, so she was quite excited, very chilled about being in Big Brother's house. And even when people had asked her questions about if there were any issues in the house, if she had noticed anything, apparently she has not noticed anything. She has nothing to complain about. And then there was Makeke. Makeke kind of struggled a bit with expressing himself via the use of English. Yes, he had to do a lot of code mixing and code switching, and sometimes I couldn't really understand him. But Makeke sort of let us know that he had actually gotten into a rift with Yolanda yesterday. Yes, I had noticed something going on in the kitchen, but I did not think it was going to escalate. So they had some sort of rift yesterday, and according to him, she's not been really forthcoming, you know, with greeting him around the house. So he's just going to wait and see how everything pans out. Aside his inability to really express himself, you know, via the English language, I had really found his diary session to be quite entertaining. I mean, this guy was making a lot of jokes, which I might not really understand, or which I probably would have laughed harder at if I was South African, you know, and if I really understood the context of the sort of jokes he was making. But he was quite funny, and I loved the way he joked about being the only male housemate that really shown up looking really fashionable and stylish on the day of the lunch show, right? And guys, it was just all fun and vibes with him. Now, the third housemate to have a session was Neo. Now, remember, Neo is one of the 3 disruptors that's on the mission to entertain and cause chaos in Big Brother's house this season. And guys, I must confess, Neo's diary session was the first best diary session today.
Big Brother is curious. What type of missions would you struggle with? And what would you find easier to carry out?
For example, there was something that I was really thinking about when I had an idea of how I'm gonna distract and just cause chaos, because I can see the effort and teamwork that they're putting out.
It was really insightful, very revealing, very interesting. And it also stemmed from the fact that Big Brother was asking her a lot of questions about her role in the game. And this girl came prepared, guys. This girl came prepared. Her enthusiasm was so obvious that she was ready to execute her task as a disruptor in the game. Now, I took down all the questions that Biggie had asked her because they were quite, important questions. I'm going to, tell you how she responded to all of these questions. So first, Biggie asked her if she really felt like a disruptor. Like, does she really feel like she's indeed a disruptor? And according to her, she's not really feeling like she's a disruptor yet because she has not started causing the chaos that she is meant to cause. Guys, the moment she said that, see, in my brains, I was just giving this girl a standing ovation because she completely reminded me of Modella from the Big Brother Naija Level Up season. If you all recall, Modella, one of the fake housemates that was sent into Big Brother's house to cause chaos, to cause drama, to entertain. And she went and fell in love with Brian. Whether it was love, whatever that was. She went and completely messed up her game. And then by the time she was out, this girl was talking about, they told me I was a fake housemate before I went on the stage. I'm like, even if they told you in your sleep, girl, you know the meaning of fakery. At least you should capitalize on that opportunity to play the game to your advantage, to deliver on that task. What are you talking about? In fact, Modella was such an embarrassment that season. I felt like it was just a waste of space. So listening to Neo and listening to her determination to deliver on this task, my chest was filled with pride. But anyways, in continuation, she explained that when she was told that she was going to be a disruptor, she felt like she wasn't going to be able to make friends or even make connections in the house. But so far, she's been making really good connections. There are some that are intentional, and for others, she doesn't really care. I'm like, girl, it's this kind of audacity that I want. And this girl is giving. She is giving. And then Biggie had asked her to sort of do some comparison between herself and her fellow disruptors. And she had explained that she is the more quiet one, but she's also very dangerous and unassuming. People look at her, but they never know what she's thinking. Now, she feels like Fahima is also like that, quiet, observing, but Fahima is the disruptor that is all out, and it's very obvious. Fahima is very much out there, she's living life, she's doing whatever, but she's very sure that Fahima also has, her task in check. And the same thing goes for Taki. Biggie had further asked that, looking at the fact that she sees herself as the observant one, the quiet but dangerous one, does she think it's going to be easy to execute her task as a disruptor? And I loved her answer because I felt like it was really perfect. She said, well, she doesn't think it's going to be easy, but it's definitely going to be possible. And one of the reasons she gave for that is already she started calculating. She's been looking around, she's been observing people, she's learning their weaknesses, she's learning about people, gathering information, and already she knows where her strengths lies. She knows that she's going to be able to disrupt tasks in the house. But where her weaknesses lie, she's yet to discover that. But when it comes to how and where she can cause that chaos, she already knows what to do and where to do it. That explanation she gave came after Biggie asked her about the type of mission she feels will be easy for her and the ones that will be difficult. Now, Biggie had asked her what makes her feel or even think that she's a good disruptor. Ladies and gentlemen, this young woman confidently answered that she's got a deceitful personality. She's pretentious. She's got this baby face. She's quiet, very unassuming, and a baby face also makes her look innocent. People will never think that she did something. And her excuse for doing anything would be that, it was probably a mistake. Yeah. She says she's very good in acting and just basically pretending. Guys, let's continue. Biggie further asked if there's any housemate at all that she's been able to fool so far, you know, looking at the fact that she comes with all of that personality, right, to execute her mission. And she responded that Millet is the one housemate that she's been able to fool completely. Guys. Now, Biggie had also asked if she feels like there's any other housemate in the house that will be able to display the exact same type of personality that she describes herself to have. And to show you that this girl is really smart and observant, she said it's definitely Lerato, because she's been watching Lerato and she's noticed that Lerato is that one housemate that will look at a housemate in a very funny manner, but then the moment the housemate turns to her, she's all smiley and, you know, kicking and cackling with the housemate. So Lerato is that one housemate that she's got her eyes on, because she knows that Lerato, you know, has a lot of similarities with her. The one thing that really freaked me about New Year's diary session was the way she ended. This girl did not just leave. She furthermore expressed her eagerness and determination to execute her mission by seeking for the way forward from Big Brother. And Big Brother acknowledged her eagerness. Oh my dear. Guys, oh my days. Guys, see, I was literally giving this girl a standing ovation. I was super impressed. I said, child, if this was how Modella came prepared during the level up season, it would have been a different story. And this is a young girl. I think she's 21. It's a young girl. Like, she understands her assignment and she's ready to play the game. She does not care. Yeah, about relationships in the house. She's going to talk to other housemates, but the ones that she cannot get along with, well, what has to be done has to be done. She's not going to allow her emotions to get in the way of her feelings. Now, in as much as I am impressed with this young woman, the one question that kept on ringing my head as well was, will she be able to hold her ground? Will she be able to deliver? Because, you know, it's one thing to come with so much determination. It's one thing to carry so much, you know, focus, right? But then, what if love happens? Because already Neo explained that she can definitely execute a mission that has to do with causing chaos in terms of task, because she has observed that the housemates, you know, have the tendency to be able to work together as a collective, you know, to deliver on a presentation, which they are not even doing, by the way. Yeah. But then, on the flip side, what if one of the guys indicates interest in her and she catches feelings or she falls in love? Will she be able to be dogged still on her mission? Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, aside Neo, another housemate that really made an impression on me with their diary session was Mac Jr.
Let's not call it bonding. I wouldn't call it bonding, because at the end of the day, you're dealing with a snake. You're not bonding with this person. You're just, it's a matter of interacting with each other.
Mac Jr.'s diary session was quite enlightening, yes, and really eye-opening. As a matter of fact, it sort of gave clarity as to why he's put himself in a box this past day and night in Big Brother's house, you know, and then decided to all of a sudden come out of his shell today, which is part of the things I'm going to explain to all of you on my next video. The way he explained that is that he did not come with one set strategy to the show. Yeah. His predominant strategy has always been and will always continue to be to remain adaptable, which is excellent. Yes, remain adaptable. You know, remain adaptable, read the room, right? Remain adaptable to the different situations in the house and different characters in the house, and then react according to how a particular situation requires. That is after reading the room. And guys, for me, I just felt like that is excellent, because today I watched this guy in a different light with Els. They were having a beautiful moment. You know, they were having conversations. The banter, it was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful, it was entertaining, and it felt like the cameras loved them. So they had a very long camera time this morning. Yes, I'm going to shed more details on that. Now, Moving on to all the things he shared with Biggie. Biggie had asked him about his thoughts about the different personalities and characters in the house. And this guy was so right once again. He said that after Sunday and yesterday, he has noticed that people's energies have sort of dissipated. You know, people's energy has sort of fizzled out. And it was something that was quite expected. He had asked him if he feels like, oh, the cause of that could be as a result of people's true, authentic self coming out. And this young man said, hell no. That it is not what he would even think or even accept for himself, because it's a game. People change, right? People change. Just as much as he is trying to be adaptable, people will definitely do what they have to do in different situations. And so he does not think it is necessarily people's true, authentic self. He feels like, for instance, the nominations of yesterday sort of influenced people's behavior towards their fellow housemates / competitors in the game. For instance, now, today, he's seeing how people are being more intentional about having conversations with other people. He's seeing how people are moving around like frantically, you know, to create more interactions. Biggie was asking him if he felt like we were bonding better. He said he doesn't think it's even bonding. It's interaction. See, guys, Mark Jr. was just scoring high points on my notes. I said, this guy, you are a genius. You are a genius. And everything he was saying was making absolute sense. And this guy kept on reiterating about how much this is a game. Now, even though everything he was saying was making absolute sense, the one thing I kept on asking myself was, for how long should a housemate remain in the dark, in the shadows, observing? Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Do you think he's actually going about it the right way? Do you think the best way to actually, you know, score your opponent or get ahead in the game is to remain in the shadows, remain detached from the crowd, or to mingle with the crowd, learn more about them whilst still observing and also playing your game? Which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comment section below. Palay's session was also very insightful, and it went to prove that this woman is also very observant. Yeah. Guys, she was even giving us some rich tea about how Liema had almost lost her cool at, what's her name now? Yolanda. Yolanda apparently had stepped on her cardboard project, and that had really pissed her off. Guys, if you all recall, these housemates are currently working on their weekly wager task, right? And each of them has an individual project as well as a collective project, and they are painting. So imagine somebody stepping on what you've spent time to work on, you know. So I can actually understand why Liema must have been really mad at it all. Now, according to Palay, Liema was holding herself so much, you know. Palay was apologizing. What's her name? Yolanda was apologizing. I said, "Oh my God, can I hug you?" And Liema was very, very irritated, because imagine somebody did that. He's like, "Well, can I hug you?" But you know, if it was in the real world, Liema would probably have given a very serious outburst, right? Or probably just scolded Yolanda for being that careless. And she had also talked about a rift that happened between Makeke and Yolanda. So guys, things are happening in the house, but she also went for that to complain about the fact that the housemates don't even give an actual F about the head of house authority.
But what's really disheartening about all of that is the fact that we had this meeting late at night, and today people didn't show up.
She was referring to the family meeting they had last night about hygiene in the house, keeping the house clean, you know, sharing house chores for people, responsibilities, you know, the fact that they had agreed that they need to ration their food because they don't even know if they're going to win their wager and if there'll be food in the house for next week. And even if there's going to be food supplied to them, it's going to be on Tuesday night. So you don't even know, because people are just eating anyhow, eating all the proteins in the fridge and just doing whatever they wanted. After they had all the agreement this morning, people are just going to the kitchen and eating whatever and however they like, you know. So she was hoping that people was going to call them out. Me, I was laughing. I said, this one. I said, Palay, you cannot tell me that you've never watched a Big Brother season before, because by now you should know that you should start hiding food. Yeah, because there's going to be a food crisis very soon, because these housemates are eating like gluttons. They are eating anyhow. You know, so the fact that she was probably hoping that people were going to step in, like, girl, has Biggie ever stepped in on a food situation, except maybe once or twice? What are you expecting to happen? Now, let's take a step back to Neil's diary session. I forgot to add that Biggie had asked her about her power of influence choice, which was else. I'd asked her to explain, you know, why she had chosen else. And her reason was quite interesting. Now, according to her, when she had won the challenge, people were coming to hug her and congratulate her. Else had walked up to her and congratulated her. But before she left, she had looked at her and told her that you are now my enemy. So she did not understand. She was only like, okay, what do you mean? Because at the time, she was worried. Like, she didn't even know what she was going to do. And so it happens that after that encounter, Biggie had called her into the diary room and given her instructions and responsibilities for being the winner of the challenge. And so for her, it was a no-brainer. Else was going to be on the chopping block. So I felt, okay, makes a lot of sense. Very valid. Else put herself in that situation. But then, does it really also explain the fact that she actually nominated Else again during nominations? Anyways, finally, moving on to Jari. Currently, Jari is building something with Liema. I'm going to share more details about that on my next video, all right? But during his diary session, this guy had actually opened up to Big Brother that he really likes Liema, that she's sort of a mystery to him. He doesn't really understand her, and it sort of draws him closer to her, to want to get to know her better. But in as much as he nurses those feelings and that attraction to Liema, he's also really attracted to Else and Z. So these women have caught his attention, and he's just seeing how things goes. And you see, guys, I found it quite interesting because it reminds me of Yemi Craig's. Yeah, reminds me of Yemi Craig's. Whilst listening to this young man, the one thing that kept on running through my head was, how can you say that you are attracted to these three women and currently you're spending a lot of time with just Liema? What makes you think that after spending this much time with Liema, you know, in public eye, you're already cuddling and, you know, you've already shared a steamy kiss? What makes you think that you're going to go to Z and she's going to accept you? Or even Else? Guys, what do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comment section below, all right? And this is where I'm going to stop talking about these housemates diary session. As I mentioned before, these were the housemates that really made an impression during the diary session. The rest were just talking about, you know, fickle observations here and there. Nothing major, nothing serious. If there's anything major or serious with the other housemates diary session, I will definitely share with all of you. But in the meantime, this is where I'm going to stop talking right now. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys on another video soon. Have an amazing evening. Bye.